now.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to have to prod it.
I don't know what any of that means.
I'm going to have to kind of put it out there.
All right, let me.
Because I didn't schedule it, and I don't even know why I didn't. I thought I did. To be honest with you, I went to look at it and it wasn't there.
Todd, I'm on the whim with all this stuff anymore. Right. I'm just, I'm so in the moment that I'll share it. I'll share it out to a couple places. I mean, I don't really have access to anything. I lost all my groups. I lost everything. I was like, ah!
Well, you know what? The universe cleaned house for you.
Yeah.
You have the right attitude with it.
Well, you have to. I'm not going to say I didn't get pissed. I went through all kind of emotions, but what can you really do when you can't get a hold of anybody, or when you can't do anything? There's nothing you can do.
All you can do is face it.
Yeah, and it was funny. I love my friends that I have now because, you talk to people and they're like, well, what does that bring up from you? I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I got fucking hijacked. Like, I can't even find myself. Those are deep things that you're like, whoa. And it's crazy.
So you lost all your instant messenger.
Everything.
Access.
Everything.
You lost all your groups, all your pictures, everything.
Everything. Yeah. And Todd, the very first thing I thought was, holy shit, I have so many private messages on there from so many people that I really care about their hearts and their privacy. And, I'm really huge on ethics and everything that I do, no matter what people call it, it's real to me. My work is real to me. And I just thought, oh my God, like, because I was like off in my safety online, I created this so people would be unsafe. And I'm like, and it took everything in me to come out and say, like, I'm sorry, like, please go to this page and report it so he can stop reading your stuff. Because I interact with a lot of people on here. I mean, I love my Facebook and the things that I see happening and the healing that I see happening on here. And it was just like, all of a sudden one day I woke up and my whole, everything was just gone.
That's like a violation.
Yeah.
Did you feel, well, yeah, like your friend said, what does that bring up for you? Did you feel violated?
Yeah. I felt violated. I felt like small. I felt like none of that stuff that I poured my heart into Always Think Up. I made alwaysthinkup.com. I worked so hard to link that all together with everything else. I put so much time and work into that. And just in one flash, somebody came in and it was just gone. I didn't even have time to respond to the email or anything. By the time I went to go log into my app, it just kicked me out of everything.
When did you get to the point where you said, there's a lot of cleaning up I've been wanting to do? Because you mentioned this before we started the show. So when you got to the point where you were like, hey, I didn't clean up my stuff, or I wasn't doing what I was being told to do, and the universe came and wiped it out. That's kind of what you said, right?
Yeah. When I go through things, I like to, feel it and when you talk to people, if you talk to the right people, if you pay attention to the things that you say, you'll say, like, you don't even realize that you feel all of those things. You know what I mean? And so at first I was like trying to just reach out to people that I knew. Like I reached out to you guys, people that manage like big groups of people and talk a lot of personal stuff and things like that. Cause I was just like, holy shit. Like I feel so violated. And then, once you quit thinking that and you start to think like, what does this really mean to me? And what does this really do for me? And what are the things that I've been wanting to do? And then, it took like, I thought about it right at the very beginning, but then I fell off and on into, back and forth feelings about it. Like sometimes I'd be fine about it. And then like, I would get like a message from Facebook to Rohit and I'd be like, that fucker, and then like, I would feel fine. Like I would finally get myself fine. And then like, I get another message and I'm just like, like, what is this? And you write out to Facebook and they don't say anything back. And it's just like, I felt defeated. I felt like I don't want to put my stuff on here anymore to just, and so I really went back to the notebook, and that's where I started my grind. That's, my notebooks. I've been going through notebooks since I was 10 years old. And all of a sudden, the past 7 years, I had like this notebook block. Like anytime I picked up a notebook, I couldn't gather myself on that notebook. And so it kind of like pushed me back into some of the basics. And like, it even pushed my creation back to like the basics. Like, all right, Sarah, here's a fresh start. What do you want to create? What do you want to do? And so really, I've been having a lot of fun through it. Like, if Rohit wouldn't have stole my shit, like the things that I have been going through in the past, I don't know, couple weeks wouldn't have been happening.
Yeah.
It was like it kind of made things important. I was messaging people like, yo, I need your phone number, your address or something. Like when I couldn't even get to you guys or add you as a friend or message you or anything. Like it just like totally like restricted me from everything. And I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, oh my God.
Welcome to the apocalypse.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's also an element too, because if you think about it, and again, the non-physical and the physical are merging, which means that, so there's, to me, an element of it that everything's public. Like, in other words, you've got these hackers that can go in and do these incredible things with these high security government, websites and all the WikiLeaks, all this different stuff.
Yeah.
And so
it's really incredible. And, for me, it just kind of made me pour love out to the world that there are really people that are more focused on doing something like that than, getting down and making a painting, getting down and making a song, getting down and facing your fears and facing what, I've been facing too much shit, like to be like, how in the hell do you have time to be hacking someone's thing? And like, what do you want to do? You want to manage, always think up, you want to see, I mean, it's like, you're not going to get any money from me. Like, I just don't understand why somebody would go to those links sometimes, but that just shows you that there's still a lot of work to be done out here. I do see the magic, but there still is work to be done.
Yeah.
And, I do need to, I was wanting to really go more hands-on and more public speaking and more hands-on workshops and stuff like that. And so, immediately that kind of like pushed me into that.
Very cool.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, as soon as that happened, like I started getting these emails about these, opportunities. And I'm like, all right, like,
there you go.
You can't be too mad, Sarah. Like let whatever unfold and we'll see what happens.
Well, and you did the right thing energetically too, with that energy that came at you or still coming at you, whatever. And you didn't keep the ball going.
And it just helps me to know that, my grandma told me a long time ago, Sarah, when you do good things out here, expect to have people try you, like, and test you and see if that's really what you want to do. And so it's just like, all right, if I must be doing something right.
Yeah.
If I'm going through this, then I must be really doing something right. And so it's just like, sometimes you could even be questioning, what the hell am I even doing with this? What am I doing out here? Like, I'm a mom, I'm all these things, and what am I really doing? And then like something like this comes along and just kind of really, I don't know, kind of brought me back down to earth. Like,
yeah,
it was kind of wild. It was just like, it was like spring cleaning of like emails and messages and everything. And it's just the craziest thing ever.
I think that's happening. I think what you described before the show, there was these things I was getting intuitively. I wasn't moving that direction, and the universe came in and swept everything clean. I'm hearing stories, seeing people go through this, and seeing people who still resist it in some cases.
Yeah, well, and I know what I do in private, and by working on myself like I do, I'm helping to work on everyone else, and I'm doing some deep work, man, and I'm going in. And like anybody that comes around me is getting like sucked in. I'm like, oh, you want to have a conversation? Let's get real deep here. Let's do it. What are you going through? What does it feel like? And, you know, it just lets me know, keep going. It's like sometimes this work can feel like the business, but it is the business.
Yeah.
It's your business. It's your life. It's your brand. Your life is what you make of it, and what gets you, you know, there's nothing, you know, that's such a perfect example for the things that are going on in people's lives, that there's just nothing that they can do about it.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to pick it up and always think up. You have to, you know, always think that there was a reason why that divinely happened to you. There was a reason why, you know, think of the things that you threw out to the universe that brought that back around to you. You know, think of how you're really feeling. You know, my Facebook, I had 5,000 friends. I had messages coming in from all over the place. Part of me was a little bit overwhelmed. You know, the give and receive sometimes in that it was a lot of giving and not as much receiving. And so, you know, I was doing it out of love, but it was like overtaking me. But it's like I can look at that and see the fear and the, you know, the old shit and the old programming, or I could just look at that and see the magic and just see like, wow, man, like there's fucking really divinity in everything. Like, every bad thing that we go through, like, really is divine. We really do create our experiences by the way that we vibrate. And it does matter how you react to the chaos. It does matter how you feel in the chaotic moments. You have to really get in tune with how you feel in chaotic moments. And from that point, you create the next experience. And it's like, I want good things, Todd. I want a good life.
You deserve it. We all deserve it. And the thing is like you said, because of the expansion, there's an obvious expansion going on in these circles we're running in, and you can see it even with the contrast. It's like once you, I don't know, people have been using the term turn the corner. There's energetically, maybe there's a corner that's been turned, but it allows us to make it for a softer, more easy, graceful ride. You know, we're actually able to go through this stuff, you know?
Yeah. And sometimes before it gets soft, it's real hard. Like my face is a little puffy. I got one of my teeth pulled, and, you know, in learning the body and learning energy work, I know that your teeth are directly related to your physical, energetic, spiritual body. And it's just like, you know, I got the procedure done, and, you know, it was really weird. It was like a tooth that has 3 roots, and one of them got stuck, and he like really had to like dig in my mouth and like pull this thing out. And I remember just laying there thinking like, whoa, like this is probably way fucking deeper than I even imagined. Like that this root of and then I looked it up, and it said it had to do with like control and your digestion and your guts. And, you know, that's just all the things I've been going through in the past 3 years. And it's just like, holy fuck, man. Like if people would just pay attention to the everything, you know, like you just really realize that like it's so much deeper than the stuff.
Yeah.
That you have.
The interconnectivity of your own body.
Yeah.
The universe. And
like how your body is always trying to heal. You know, how your body wants to heal. Your body, you know, it all wants the very best for you, for everybody. And it's like, you know, we as humans are the resistors, like, you know, and it's just like, it's funny that it takes things to make you like realize like, whoa, you know, I need to let go of control. And it's like, not always like controlling other people. I'm not a controlling person like that, but controlling myself, you know, by these old programs that subconsciously I didn't even know were controlling me.
Yeah. Take the control off of what you're trying to, of things, and put it onto yourself.
Yeah. And so it's been deep.
It reminds me too, what you said about what happened. And when you said, brought me back down to earth. And to me, I think that's kind of what I'm feeling in this climate in this phase, in this first part of the year. And that is all this stuff that we're getting out there. It's been great, and we've had to talk about it and experience it and all that stuff. But there is an element of bringing it down to earth, or coming down to earth, or getting real, or, being human.
Like living that in your life, like living that in your everyday life, I mean, Todd, you were so busy at one time doing shows that you're sleeping, sitting up, and it's just like, all right, like I want to give back to humanity, but where do I step in and say, all right, like, let's focus on this human and what this human needs to do. And a lot of my journey has been to learn how to relax. And it's so fucking crazy. It could take you 3 years to learn how to relax. But now I talk to my friends now and I say, like, I'm just so cool, like, with where I have gotten on this journey. Like, I have cannons going off around me and I'm just like, I'll get to each cannon as I can, but first I'm going to take a bath and eat a good meal, and then I'll call you, and it's just like, I wasn't always that way. I always thought I had to kind of jump for everyone else. And now I'm really kind of, and it's funny because it's reflecting in my career, and it's reflecting in my friendships, my romances, everything. It's really great. It's really great. I mean, I know people been going through some shit.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. And I think, people have been more open about it. And also I've seen them going through it, getting to the other side, that's been a beautiful part of it too.
When I see a lot of people just getting back to the basics of what they want in their life. And that's what's so cool. Like, just, I think 2 days ago, I really just, I went to like a step one, I guess you'd say. And I just wrote, what do I want now for my career? Now, after these 3 years of these videos and all this Facebook and everything, what do I want for my career? And what do I want for my family? And what do I want for my love and my fun and my health? And, and I just really wrote those things all out. And it's funny to get, when you find that clarity after that growth, that's when you're like, whoa, like that's what you do that for. Like that's what you went through all that for. That's what that's what all that was for. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the non-relaxation part of it is a big, that's a good barometer, good gauge. But and then you come back to that down to earth thing, and you realize it's almost like a cliche, but it's just like, it's simple. Just what you're describing is what I'm trying to describe, which is really just staying in your heart. What's in your heart? What do you want from the heart? Mm-hmm. And I think what's happening is people are coming down to earth, getting down to earth. It's igniting this magic that we were also searching for, and it's starting to become apparent by these no longer coincidences happening to people. And these physical representations of some serious energy surging.
Yeah. And, I'm really loving it because, like, I'm seeing the magic in the people. Like, I'm seeing people pop out with videos, and I'm seeing them, paint things and start these businesses, or start writing, or just singing or dancing and making videos. And I'm like, yes, dude, like, this is what we did all this for. Like, and it's so funny because it's like when I started to see all the people that like just couldn't seem to get it and things like that start to do these videos and get creative with their hearts and stuff. It's like that's when my Facebook kind of fell away. It was like, you did your work here, girl. Now go ahead, go do something else. Like you started a fire on Facebook. No wonder they don't want you on there. You better just keep it moving.
Yeah, at the end of December, I did a show with Amanda Lawrence and Carrie Samadi, and it was like coming out of that solstice energy and Christmas, and we were like, "What's going on? What are you getting?" And every one of us said, "It's like our work is done." I had got this vision of this line, this vertical line, and it was before and after, and it was saying to me, "All of your work's been done." And I was just talking to Morgan about this a while ago, and another friend of ours, and it's almost like, you want to manifest it in the physical, I had a certain thing in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I felt it was aligned, and I'm not saying it's not, but something happened when I came down to earth. And that is that, in other words, the clarity came, and it became more of something centered from my heart outward. And all this stuff is dropping away.
Yeah. It really does. And, it's like, it's difficult to get into that heart, but once you do, like, I mean, that dropping away part, that's like the best part. It's like stuff that you were kind of like iffy about and stuff that you're kind of like on the fence about. The more you make moves from that heart space, the more you're naturally aligning with who you really are. And, a lot of times when we're out here in this search of self and self-love, we don't really know who we are. We don't really realize the powers in our thoughts and our words and our actions. And then we gain this awareness of that. And then we have triggers. And so in that trigger, we don't realize our power, and we don't realize our thoughts and our words and our actions mean so much. And it's just such a process of the back and forth and learning about that, and really being patient with your own self. Like, I mean, just a couple months ago, I'm like, fuck, how many times am I going to have to face the same lesson? Like, I've been putting in major overtime, double time work into this one part, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, I can't get it right. And it's just like, just like my body work, you got to just flip the script. You got to, and that's what's so cool about self-love is like, you can just flip it to anything. I started cooking better food. And then all of a sudden, this is like kind of magically untangling over here. And like, I don't even really have to put any energy into it. And it's just like, so what do we choose in our human selves to get caught up in? Do we get caught up in that one message that's like, fuck you? Or do we get caught up in the 90 messages that are like, I love what you're doing for humanity?
Yeah.
It's up to us, because as well as me, you can get caught up in the million greatness messages, or you can let that one message just be like, I wonder, do people really think that about me?
Yeah. Right. Or, and it's like and like you said, learning to be, compassionate with yourself and care for yourself. Self-care, which a lot of that is the internal dialogue that we've had, this chatterbox. And so it's like those were the painful parts of awareness expanding, and therefore transformation eventually. But this part of us, and all of us have it, just in the intent of what knowledge we're trying to take in, whatever it manifests as. I'm doing videos or doing shows or participating or whatever. I think that all of that is coming back to us now. And maybe that is the energetic impression we made and we put out there, and the work is already done. And now going back to ourselves, what do we want now? That's what you were saying earlier. Like, what do I want now? I've done all this. What do I want now?
Yeah. And, and it's like, it's so funny because, 3 years ago when I came out, it was like, I want to learn how to love, and I want to, spread love and all of those things. And it's the same concept. What I want is the same concept. It's the same thing that lit my fire when this fire first started popping. However, through my experiences, through the things that I've been through, that fire refined my what I really want to do, and what I really do think of when I think of my dream career and my dream partner and my dream family and health. And I really got a lot deeper into every single one of those aspects. And so it's just like, sometimes you can feel like absolute shit for like 3 weeks, and then wake up one day and be like, I'm really proud of myself and what I've been through.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how do we love ourselves through the roller coaster ride of what this all is? And it's just like, you have to take every single moment and find love in it. Find the message, find the lesson, everything's so deep. I say everything's so deep. I don't even know how people have time to watch TV, but I've been making myself watch a couple movies lately.
we started watching them. Neither one of us really watched them. I never watched any, but we started watching about a month ago. And cool thing is everything had a message in time with the energy that was present. You know?
Who you telling? I just watched with my grandma. She was here, and we watched Mona Lisa smile. And I get a hard time, Todd, because I don't go with the norms of being a woman. Like the submissive, like I'm going to submit to a man and have a man take care of me and all of those things. However, like I'm not this woman man hater club. Like, I want to raise women up to love on the men and stuff like that, but then also keep a place inside of them that they know their power still.
Yeah.
And, that's what I've been seeing a lot going on. And it's so funny that you watch these movies, like you said, and they link up to like what's going on and what's going on with your clients and what's going on with the direction that your career, your love life or whatever is going. And then like you watch this movie and it's just like ding, 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 ding. It's like the jackpot at the casino.
Exactly. Yeah. I think there's more conscious intention, conscious good intention, conscious responsible intention.
Yeah.
Conscious, non-judgmental intention in regard to yourself and to others. But like you said, you're doing all this stuff. So much of it was service to a collective, like a push we went through or something like that. So many people involved. And now it's like it came back and it's like almost like a reward. What do you want? Because whatever you want from your heart is going to be matched by the universe, right?
Yeah. And, and what I find in a lot of my clients and the work that I do is a lot of people don't think that we deserve the wants in our heart. A lot of people think that the wants in our heart are just really silly. Like, these things that we kind of like made up. But it's like, when you start to chip away at that and when you start to create your life and when you start to see that your wants are really easily met and that you were the resistance between you and that thing, you really start to look at the world a whole lot different. Like, you can't even look at the world like poor me. You look at every single, and then you go back through the slices and you're like, holy shit, like what's here and here and here and here and here. And what does all of this mean? I mean, I've always been fascinated, like by observing myself and work and, trying it on me first before I try it on anybody else. And so I don't know, like working on myself is really all I know how to do. And so the people that ignore it, sometimes I don't understand.
Yeah.
If you can't see it in your career and in every slice of your life, I don't understand how you don't see that with the amount of information that is available. It's just like, and so then that kind of took me to a place where the people that really want to work with me and need to work with me, they're going to vibrate right to me again.
Yeah.
And, and maybe I'm going to get some different stuff. And that's what I'm really hoping for. And so, it's been fun and it's been exciting. The people that have come out of the woodwork and met me just now through my new page versus the other one that I've had for years and built. And so I don't know,
I think that's another thing too, is like you said earlier, and I've said it many times, like, why am I seeing this again and again? Why am I seeing this again and again? And then you get to a point where, you're shown something, no matter how disparaging it looks, unfair, or whatever the case is, or obvious that you've done nothing, right?
Yeah,
And it's like, so what is this telling me? So if I'm observing somebody who's blind to their own shadow, is it telling me that I'm blind to a shadow in myself, and maybe I ought to go find it and stop thinking about this guy over here?
You know what I mean? And you hit it, and stop thinking about this guy over here. It's like, when we're out here and we're doing this work and we're working with these people, it's really easy to run into people that just aren't seeing their lives. And, in the past, like the past couple months felt like years to me. Like I went through a lot. Like these past 7 years have been a lot. These past 5 years have been tremendous. These past 2 months have been like 15 years. I feel like, with the amount of growth that I have done, I swear, like I have been just crying my head off, cutting people out. And, all of these things that I'm doing, I'm just doing them in the name of love. I just say to people, like, I don't really have any words. I mean, I was talking to a great girlfriend of mine today, and I said, you know, I bet you it's been for like the past 3 weeks that when people message me, I'm like, yeah, you know, that sounds really great. And I'll talk to you in a minute because I don't really know what to say. There's things there's things flaring up in every single area of my life, and there's so much growth coming in, and I just really want to be at a peaceful state in my body as I'm attracting these things that I really, you know, I've planted these seeds. I can see where it's like I planted this, and now this is my time to get it. And so am I going to attract it from a low vibe, or am I going to attract it from a peaceful, relaxing? I mean, I work too hard, Todd, to get my, you know, I mean, I work for myself. I have time with my baby. I have everything I wanted down to the car that I drive. And it's just like, all right, you know, now what do you do? And you kind of get stagnant in your creation. You kind of gotta, you know, it's like those duck pillows. You gotta fluff up your pillow a little bit, you know, sometimes, and don't forget to fluff up your pillow. You always have to, when you're out here creating this life and you get so far off track and so bombarded, you got to go back in there and fluff up your pillow.
Fluff up your pillow.
Yeah, I mean, does that make sense to you?
Don't fluffy on the pillow. Just fluff up the pillow.
But do you know what I mean? How it gets like flat and it gets kind of like, you know, not as comfy. You want to go in there and you want to fluff that pillow up.
I'm a pillow fanatic. I love pillows, man.
Me too. I have them everywhere.
Yeah, and you know, too, I think another thing that I'm picking up on, maybe it's just me changing. I don't know. But it's respecting the sovereignty of others.
Yeah,
I'm respecting my sovereignty, and there's a simultaneous reaction. So I'm starting to feel that from people, and maybe it's just my field that's changed, and that's where I get those messages, and I don't answer because I'm working on Todd. I'm doing Todd today.
Well, and isn't that a really great feeling? And you know, and like you said, it's just like, you know, Todd, we're all one person. We're all really one connection, and we're all really coming back from all of these separations. And so, you know, the only way to really see us as one is to really look at the times where you're like, I'm not answering that message, I'm working on Todd. And then also seeing how Sarah's working on Sara, and Teresa's working on Teresa, and Lori's working on Lori, and everybody, you know, the work looks really different to everybody. And like you said, like, there's sovereignty, like you're free to do whatever the fuck you want. And you know, the one thing that I've been seeing in my friends is like, the people that are out here really living their passions, it's like dripping from their pores.
Yeah.
In their hard times, in their good times, in their off times, in their on times. But then the people that are having a hard time are the people that are afraid to face certain fears and afraid to take the advice and afraid to take the leap. And it's just like, you know, we make these leaps sometimes look easy.
Yeah.
But they're not, you know, when you're going out here and you're doing these videos and you're speaking and, you know, you're tuning into your heart. You don't know if that information in your heart is the right way. Yeah.
Well, they were hard, you know, it's
hard.
Well, I mean, they're hard when you're doing it, but when you look back,
it gets easier.
Yeah. So
it gets easier to trust that feeling. Like as you keep plugging away at that, it's like, well, you know, I leaned on my heart last time and it worked out. Let me just do that again this time. Yeah. But you still have to give yourself a pep talk every now and then, because it's easy, certain things, just to be like, oh, well, that ain't never going to work.
Yeah. And, you know, so like energetically, when we take care of, you know, I take care of Todd. Energetically, something's happening and people are understanding. You know, I can see it.
Me too.
The pushback lessons and lessons and lessons. And, you know, this has kind of been coming up in these last 3 or 4 shows.
Yeah.
How this is all evolving and what it looks like. And I wrote late last night in a I don't know, I don't want to say what kind of state I was in. I was just in a somewhat discombobulated state, but I was connected to the light, and I just spit out this meme, which was, I didn't know if anybody would understand it, but I understood it. And it was the whole thing about the equality and the oneness. And it was just, it's not what I want. It's not what you want. It's what we want.
Yeah.
that's the one thing we all know from the depth of our heart, which y'all want the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
We really
So,
do. In our way back home, you know, I was just telling a friend the other day, some people are still getting caught up in the old fear paradigms of like only one way to this, you know, and it's just like, I really feel like all these people that I'm friends with and all our crazy past and everything are like really kind of just in the most beautiful way leading us to the same place. Like, you know, this person might be over here doing it this way and me over here and them and over here, but it's just like somehow or another, like the people who are supposed to gather together and it's all working.
yeah, yeah, I think
You know,
so.
yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
so.
the more I keep following my intuition, the more I keep connecting back, like with
Yeah,
you and with, you know, it's just like I'm not really holding on to any one thing, and then this is coming up, and it's just like now I have a better understanding of what's actually for me and
yeah,
what's here to distract me.
or yes, yes, because some of our the mask of our, well, what looked like passion was an egoic mass. At some point, it converted or whatever. It didn't change our heart's intention, but it does
Yeah,
become a distraction. Well, you know,
yeah,
overly helping other people becomes a
yeah,
distraction to not
yeah.
serving yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you know what I learned is like, you know, in my friends group, in my family group, like my whole group, like we promote you loving yourself. And so, you know, I would never expect any of my friends or anybody to put me first over them. I expect you to put you first in my friends group. You know, I expect you to say, if you weren't feeling the video tonight, say, Sarah, I'm not feeling it. You know, I'd rather you do that than get on here and be all disgruntled. And then we don't have this beautiful flow that we have, you know? And so it's like, yeah, sometimes you want to get a message out, but you can't, like, you have to know that the whole universe works together through all of us. And that if certain things are supposed to happen, they just happen. Like,
yeah,
I've seen thousands of people rise together for these events with no flyers, no anything, and just like boom, everyone's there. And then I've seen people promote things for years, and it just never,
yeah,
you know. And so it's like, where do you find that balance in there? And it's just like, keep following that heart, you know. You
yeah,
might tell one person at the convenience store because you felt tugged in your heart to stay, and they might not know everybody.
yeah, yeah. And then there's the energy or the reality of like what you're hearing, you
Yeah,
know, and then
what you're living.
you get hacked, and then all of a sudden you start getting calls from people on a local basis, which is where you wanted to go or what you were hearing to do.
Well, you know, Todd, I do body work. So, you know, my miracle that I experienced in my life was my body got healed. And it changed my whole life. And so I love to get my hands on people's bodies and to do my work that I do and to have them call me and say, like, you'll never believe it, I'm doing this, and you'll never believe it, I'm doing that. And I'm like, yeah, I believe it. Your body can heal. You're the only one that didn't believe it.
That's
But
right.
you know, the more I got
That's
out
right.
here in the cyber world and stuff like that, I mean, there's a lot going on in this cyber world. And the lessons that I've been learning lately is like, what is real, Sarah? You know, like if I can't literally get my hands on you and touch you and mold your muscles and touch your feet and bring awareness to a place that you're not aware, what am I doing? Like that, you know, there are a lot of
Yeah.
people that work online and I love them. And I love that I've been able to connect with them and pay for their classes and take their work. But my work is not on here.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
work is hands on the body. My work is literally helping your actual physical human body release these nasty programs.
Yeah.
And, you know, I really needed to get back to that, you know, working at the casino and making enough money. And, you know, I kind of was like in this stagnant space.
Yeah.
And what I really love is I love to bring people together and teach them about the energy that they take on for their jobs and how to clear that and how to make subtle changes in your energy to affect your marriage and your life and your finances and your sex life and your date life and your kids and just all of that stuff, just by making subtle changes to your own body and paying attention to your body and what,
Yeah.
you know, our bodies are always talking to us.
I know. I know. I've learned that. It's taken me 57 years, but I've learned
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and it does take people a lot of time. In all of this, my dad has herniated discs, and he's not even able to walk right now. He's 60, and he's worked his whole life, and he doesn't know what to do. And it's just like, Dad, your body's trying to tell you something. You got to slow down, and you got to be patient with yourself, and you got to see what your body's saying to you. And he quit drinking, and he quit, doing all kind of things in his life. And he's not able to walk yet, but he feels better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so a lot of times, that's how that works. And it's just like, that's what I work with, is physical dis-ease in the body.
Yeah.
And I can't turn that into an internet one-hit wonder. However, I can do my retreats, and I can do my things where I actually get to see people and hug people and cook for them and feed them up, because that's what I like to do. This internet stuff, to me, it isn't as real anymore.
Yeah.
When I'm getting these people together and I'm feeling this energy from all these people that they might know or they don't know, or they're whatever, it feels so fucking good to be in that. Like when somebody actually physically took themselves from their house and brought themselves to a location where you're at, that they have some dedication inside of them to make a step forward. It's really easy to click on Facebook and whine and cry and bitch and everything else, but it really takes a lot of guts to come out of your house and to say, my body doesn't feel good, I want to work on it. My life isn't going right, I want to fix it. And what I really learned in all of this is, it's up to us, and it's up to my clients to want to do it. I can't make people do this. I can't make people find me. I can't, you have to be the seeker. When my body healed, I had to believe in something that I couldn't see or hear. They told me I needed a knee replacement, and they told me all these things that I needed to do. And I had to believe that there was some kind of fucking wacky ass healing modality out there that was going to leave me pain free. And there wasn't one person in my life giving me like a glimmer of hope. I was like, I know this is out here. And my dad's like, you're fucking crazy. And I'm like, call me what you want, I'm not doing that. And then all of a sudden it's like, I found it. And so if I can do something like that in that space, I know that works for every single thing.
Sure. Yeah. Sure does.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
Sure does.
You have to be determined to love you more and better every day. I mean, every day I wake up and I say, how can I love me more? I'm a coach. I'm a therapist. I make money off this. And every single day I say, how do I love me more? How can I love me better today? What can I do for me better today? Do I need to relax? Do I need to vamp it up? Do I need to eat better, sleep better, work out? There are a million things to do for yourself.
Yeah.
Every day. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, I think you're going to get some messages and some comments here. Before I cover that, I just want to take a moment, if everybody would, if it resonates with you, to send some healing, peace, love, and comfort to Bonnie and Robin, our friends that retired, got on motorcycles, and went down to Florida. They've been having some challenges, some health challenges, and I know she's on here, so I just wanted to send her some pure healing love.
I love her. Where is she in Florida? Do you know?
No, I don't. I'm not quite sure where she is.
Well, let us know where you're at. I got some friends all down there, so let me know. I can send some love over there.
Very cool. Yeah, she's an old friend of Zavetta's, and Zavetta went down there too. So she's down in South Beach.
I heard Zavetta was in South Beach. I saw her sun-kissed. I love that. I'm actually thinking about that too, Todd. I've been having a lot of pulls that are pulling me back down south, and I keep thinking about my garden, and I keep thinking about being outside all day, every day, and in the night. And I really love that and connect to that. And so, yeah, it's funny that you even mentioned that, because I don't know, man, there's some healing in that land down there.
Well, people are making moves, and they're, we have a friend that's been on Kauai for a long, long time. I mean, 30 plus years. And she absolutely, totally is aligned. And I mean, but the point is she's feeling a call to go somewhere else. And she's like hearing it and respecting it, and her
Yeah.
heart's going, oh my God, I don't want to go. But
I have
so I mean,
clients that are going everywhere, Europe, Canada, Alaska. I have people that are really shifting all around the world. And, I love having my clients because it's like, all right, Sarah, like this little shift down south ain't really as bad as like going to like Europe or China.
you got some people asking, where's your website? Do you have a website? How do we find Sarah for sessions?
Yeah, I have alwaysthinkup.com. This is my Facebook, who we're linked through here now. And thinkup always@gmail.com. I get a lot of messages there. So what I've been doing lately is just putting some stuff together with some different people. So I actually been working with a lot of my people down south, and I think the next thing I'm going to do is going to be in Tampa, because I've been missing it, and I want to go back and be there.
Have you been to Tampa?
I used to live there.
So did I.
Oh man. Oh
when
man.
Were you there?
So 5 years ago I moved back, and I was there for a few years.
Okay.
So maybe like for 8 years ago or something like that, until 5 years ago. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Very
cool. It was. I know, and I was single, and I had no kids, and I really did just like squeeze the best out of it. I went and did paddleboard yoga and every nature thing that there was outside that was free, and every moment that I had, I was like outside doing some really fun stuff. So I love that area. You have the country, you have the beach, you have the city, you have so many different elements that you can always just.
Yeah, it's like 5 states in one.
It really is. It really is. And then, the weather's so, all the time the same, that it's just like, you don't even realize the change of season or anything like that. You're just like, whatever, we're just wearing shorts. Let's go.
Yeah. Me and the alligators. Yeah, it's a good place to there's a lot of people down there. There's a lot of people.
Well, there's a lot of people that I really love there. I have a lot of people I really love here, but I have a lot of people that I really love there. And I just really, I want to raise my daughter with more.
Yeah.
I'm from a little county in Pennsylvania, and there's a lot of love here, but there's not a lot of expansion.
Yeah.
And I just really want to raise her with more awareness of the world. And, not only do I just want to live in Tampa, but I want to travel a lot with her and take her all over, and just teach her what I feel like is really important. Stuff isn't important to me. It's more about experiences and meeting people and learning different cultures and different ways. And I really got a lot out of that in my life. And that's why I want to teach my baby.
Excellent. Well, now they're asking for you to post the link.
I will.
There's about 4 different people here. So make sure you do that. And I wanted to say too, to anyone and everyone out there, we're looking to do shows with children. So any children, 7,
that's
8,
cool.
5, 9, 11, 18, 3, whatever.
That's really cool.
So,
I've been tapping into that lately too, Todd. I've really been tapping in on my off time from Facebook into like the children's realm, and I have a niece that's 11 and a nephew that's 8, and I have a 3-year-old, and my niece is 4, and so just really surrounding myself with that energy, because right now in this time, they will knock your socks off. Like the things that they say are just like, how did you even know?
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, I'm excited for that to come up, because kids are my favorite, especially right now, because they don't have so many blocks over their heart.
No, they're pure, and some of them got some pure stuff coming out of them that would blow light worker circles away.
Oh,
some people talk about stories on the show about stuff like that. We've met some in our travels too.
Yeah, well, and that's another thing I've been wanting to get into. I really want to homeschool true, and I really want to get around people that are homeschooling their kids and just really teaching them what's really important. And so that's where my mission kind of took a turn, and that's really a place that I need to be focusing more on too, because we're getting up to that place where school's about to start, and all that stuff. So
I think you're on the right path. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's just super cool. Like once you set that as an intention, I mean, I've been meeting parents, so that's what they do. And, you know, as soon as you set that as an intention, nothing is impossible out here, man. I mean, you know, I'm a single mom on $1 and a dream, just like everybody else. And I'm really attracting these things just by talking about and expressing my heart about it. And it's like, you know, yeah, you have some people that are against you, but you have a lot of people that are with you too.
Yeah, those are the ones. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Todd. I love your guts for having me on here.
You kidding? It's always, yeah. I'm just like, wow, just these energies have been beautiful gifts. It's been, you know, fantastic. Like you said, just reconnecting. And it's like, you know, you really don't have to like talk every day and things like that. I'm finding this like that's what's so great about what I do, because I can spend an hour with somebody I know, and it's like I know them forever. It's like you come together once, you come together forever. So
yeah, always, you do. You do leave that soul imprint. And you know, I was talking to a great girlfriend of mine today, and I said it just kind of feels like we're kind of free falling out here right now. And so, you know, when you're in that free falling state, just trust your heart, man.
Oh yeah.
You know, nobody got you like your heart got you.
I'd say we're free falling, but now we're freestyling.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes it feels like freestyling, and sometimes it feels like free falling. And either way, you know, it's freedom, right?
That's right.
And that's the thing I love about the magic, is that I do see so many people just free to just really just live like they want to, and that fires me up every single day.
Put your links up.
I will. I love you, man. I love you, and give Morgan all my love. I know you guys are moving around, and so much love to your moving around.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's only for the best, to get you some more goodness. Yeah. I mean, that's what we're all moving around for.
More free falling.
We're free falling. Turn that song on when we get off. Turn that song on.
Yeah, that's a good song.
I love you guys. Good night.
All right. Take care. Good seeing you.